All right, everyone, welcome to RGH episode 41. We are, wait, hey, there we are. There we are.
Doing all right over there?
We are deep into the 41st episode by about 5 minutes because that intro is so long and everyone always yells at us. Listen, I got to explain one thing quickly. We do remove it. I remove it the second the podcast is done, but it must not be a priority or something for YouTube because it takes like 12 hours, 15 hours to fully process and actually take it out of the episode. So I apologize. If you guys do watch the episodes and you're frustrated with the intros, we are trying to remove them, but there's just nothing we can do because the episode goes live instantly when we're done. And then even when you edit it, it doesn't fix it. So
Listen, while obviously we like to get the edited version to you guys as quickly as possible, at the same time, I hear you say that. Listen, I've listened to my wife's murder podcast, and they will spend 45 minutes talking about what they ate for breakfast, just absolutely nothing before getting into the topic. Bro, we have a 5-minute little intro, and then boom, we're right into the topics, baby.
And it's the same every time, so you know where to drag.
Yeah, so you know exactly where to drag. We're efficient. We got you, baby. We got you. So we're good here.
So today we're gonna be talking a lot about Battlefield because it is looking insane
this morning.
Yeah, and apparently TV was just saying it is already the top-selling game right now.
Isn't that nuts on Steam?
Yeah,
if you go to top sellers on Steam right now, it's right at the top. No gameplay
this morning. No game. You've never seen gameplay yet. Top seller.
Yeah, that's how badly people are just literally just aching for this game right now. You know.
So they're aching for any game right now. I feel.
I hear that, man.
That's actually a good point. Let's talk a little bit about the reveal. So this morning it came out. It's around 4 minutes long. So actually I remember seeing the length of this trailer and I was surprised. Usually you get a 2-minute trailer. So it's 4 minutes long. It says rendered in the in-game engine or something like that. It is not a gameplay trailer. We're going to see the gameplay on June 13th. So in a couple days here, or in a few days with E3, we're going to talk about E3 later in the episode. But it's a 4-minute long solid trailer. It's showcasing a lot of the new aspects of the game. If you haven't seen the trailer, go watch it. It looks fantastic. Obviously, there's once you kind of start to learn more about this game, the trailer is showing you some very specific details. So one of the things it's showing is there's a few different modes it's launching with. You have the classic kind of conquest style mode. I think it's been mixed up a bit where you capture one point and then move to the next point, almost like a rush, but within Conquest.
And there's multiple objectives within each.
I might be a little wrong about that, but an example they gave is there's this a stadium in the city, and you have to capture both ends of the stadium, and then you secure the stadium, and then you move forward. So it's a big battle over the stadium.
Question.
Go ahead.
What's up? I've never been really a Battlefield player, so in those game modes, when you're saying that you move on, is it essentially another map or another part of the map, and then you kind of fight over that objective?
Yeah, kind of. I think a lot of information was coming at me fast and loose.
Right.
So I think there is going to be that style of I don't know if you ever played Call of Duty World War II.
No, not really.
Okay. Well, it's you capture one part and then you go to the next part and there's a new fight over a new part of the map. I feel in Battlefield the maps are going to be a little bit more open though and less linear. That's beside the point. You see the part of the trailer where you're in all these shipping containers and they get ambushed and it's this crazy scene. Apparently that's a game mode, Havoc. I forget exactly what it's called, but it's a game mode that is going to be your more close quarters infantry style stuff that we talked about earlier. So if you want to get right into the fray, they're saying some of the Battlefield YouTubers are saying it's going to be the mode where if you want to pop up above something and there's 30 people in front of you, that's the mode you want to play, right?
Right.
Yeah. And speaking of a lot of people, one of the main things is that they're raising the player cap. Currently 64, it's going to be 128. So they're literally doubling.
Even on console, if you're on next gen.
On PlayStation 5, on Xbox Series X and S, and on PC, 128. On older gen consoles, PS4 and Xbone, that's going to be 64 still, but apparently the maps are going to be a bit smaller to kind of you're still going to feel like a real Battlefield game. It's not going to be like a massive map and there's no one there, right?
Yeah, and one of the things that Battlefield has consistently done well is these transitions during these big fights and Conquest and Rush. So a lot of times, you might think, okay, well, just progressing from one part of the map to another part doesn't really sound all that engaging. But one of the things they do is like there's the Levolution that sort of transforms the map and it's this interactive experience. Or on like Dam of Van Peak, when you capture a certain point and you go to the next part of the map, you're literally base jumping off of a mountain and parachuting down every time to the next section of the map.
Yeah.
When you respawn, you get to do that again. So it's like it's all really highly interactive gameplay, even during those transitions. And I love that they showed some of that in the trailer. That kind of gives you that vibe, like, oh, they're going back to Battlefield roots here. Like it showed them all jumping off a cliff, sort of like Damavand, This is the guy that gets splattered by the falling debris.
Something I kind of heard as well was like, because 128 players is so big, the maps are going to be significantly bigger. Like one of the maps is like the size of like
Skyrim.
There's like
Right.
basically it's like a Far Cry map or something crazy. It's huge, and on that map, the Damavan Peaks style jump is like just like a capture point on the freaking map. It's like very large maps. Something else crazy. And I'm bringing this up because Tash, you're worried about vehicles, but apparently in this one, you're going to be able to like airdrop vehicles. So maybe there's like a point system, maybe similar to like when you can select a hero in like Battlefront or something like that, or kill streak system.
Right.
Where you could call down a tank, and apparently like it's in a physical object. They were saying that you can call a tank on a sniper and it will come and it'll smush the sniper if that guy's like, being annoying.
Perfect.
That's going to be great. A couple of things that are worth mentioning here. One, no single player mode. There's no story mode. Now, every Battlefield, previously has had some form of a campaign, and it's never been crazy or flashy. You know what I'm saying? Like it's very linear. It's a really basic story. You work your way through it, a few hours of gameplay, and you're done. So is this a good thing? They decided to put all of their energy and effort into developing the PvP experience.
You know what's interesting? A huge driving factor in why anyone played Battlefield 4's campaign is because there was 3 different weapons locked behind it based on what ending you did. So people would like, that was a huge reason to play the campaign. And then like everyone would just play the last mission and then get it and then like restart in the last mission 3 times to get the guns and then take them over to multiplayer. It's a big debate. A lot of people are saying that, like, Call of Duty is going to launch with a campaign and multiplayer and some sort of co-op experience. So a lot of people are going to view this as, like, less value.
For me, I don't care. I mean, I know there's gamers that do care. I don't care. Battlefield is not a single-player story mode game. That's not what it's known for. That's not what they do best. They do that kind of content really mediocrely. I just made up my own adverb. But, that they don't excel at it, and it's really not that great. What is great is the PvP stuff they do that's like just massive scale, balls to the walls, insane chaos, warfare on a big scale. So the solo experience it's not Battlefield. So I don't think we're losing anything of real value here. Yeah, if you want a good single player warfare experience, and this isn't it anyways.
100%. And like double down on what you are good at. Double down on the maps, double down on the game running properly for 128 people, like, because that's the thing, is that technology like that's going to need some beefy servers. So if I'm going to miss out on some campaign stuff for a better PvP experience, I'm probably going to be pretty happy there. Take that time to add some more customization to the guns, make the guns feel good, make the audio feel great. Are they doing a BR mode? Make a BR.
They've actually confirmed that they're not doing a BR mode. It's at least not yet. It's not going to ship with one or anything like that, which a lot of people thought like it's kind of a freebie if they basically do what Call of Duty is doing with Warzone, but with Battlefield, have a free-to-play Battlefield experience in terms of Battle Royale. And then have the full paid games. And then like the next 3 games can all connect to this Battle Royale.
Right.
Will they do that in the future? Possibly, but not going to be near launch.
It's an interesting comment in chat. Someone said it better be $40 then if it doesn't have a single player. That's an interesting comment. I don't think I'm with that. I don't think I'm with that because there's a lot of games out there that only have PvP and they're full price games. The value that you pay for a game is based on the quality of the content. If not what the content specifically is. I mean, if you're looking for a single player game, this ain't it anyway. So you're probably going to spend your $60 on something else.
The thing is, it doesn't matter. What you're saying, I hate to say this, but what you're saying doesn't matter in the sense of you're right, TV. You're right. Everything you're saying is right. They should be doubling down on the multiplayer. Look, DICE has the stats, guys. It's like 99% of the hours spent in Battlefield is multiplayer. They would be stupid to invest too much money in the single player. But everything we've all just said doesn't matter because the more casual gamers are going to look at the box and they're going to go, no single player. Well, that's just dumb. This game should be $40.
They're going to sell copies anyways. It doesn't matter.
I mean,
look at the fact it's already top seller on Steam.
Okay, yeah, it could be, but I'm telling you, I hate to say this term, but it is the demographic that's going to say this. But the dad gamers, they are going to view not having single player as just the removal of content. Because, and I'm not trying to be insulting, but it's just like you have like a view of what a game should be, right? And again, it's been years of Call of Duty and Battlefield. It's like single player, multiplayer, co-op. That's what we come to expect. So if it doesn't have one of those things now, you view it as like a lesser experience. Whereas you guys are making the argument, it's worth that because if you're spending 99% of your time in multiplayer, you want all the resources to go to multiplayer, right?
Yeah.
I agree.
Well, and I think that a lot of that audience, they may initially pass up on the game, but then when they start seeing gameplay, hearing reviews, seeing all the streamers playing it day after day after day and being like, okay, well, hold up. You know what I'm saying? They might change their tune.
Oh, 100%. And like, people are going to be like $60, but it's like, listen, you spend $60 and it's like good Battlefield game. You're going to be in there running smoothly. There's going to be helicopters blowing up planes out of the sky and everything's running at 120 frames per second. And
you're like, I want to be in there.
You're like,
I want to be
that's
there.
where my money went, right? Like,
yeah, that's right.
How many games have I bought recently that have been like a letdown? Like, I'll spend whatever the price is as long as it's a great game because I'm craving a great game. Like
absolutely.
You know, I bought Cyberpunk and I'm like, well,
yeah,
you know, it's what it is.
Yeah.
That had a single player.
We can talk a little bit about that when we get to the E3 section. But a couple of things I think are important to note before we move on from Battlefield. There's two key features about this game that I think are worth bringing up in the show. One of them is that they've revamped the class system, so it's not going to be the same as it has been in previous games where you're like, okay, well, I'm going to play the medic or the support, you know, or the engineer. They actually have, it's almost more like a hero style game, like a champion style game, where they're actually named characters. Like you've got Boris, and he's your engineer, but he's fully voice acted. He has his own sort of character and voice lines and story development.
Like Rainbow Six Siege, very similar to a Rainbow Six Siege style thing, and they're doing that for a reason.
Yeah, and that's the thing. People love that hero style shooter where they can identify. I really like this guy in particular. You know what I'm saying? And so that's kind of cool. But again, they also have like the classes are sort of built into those characters, those heroes. So it's similar but different. It's a different take on a similar system.
I kind of like that because then it's like if I see Boris, I'm like, okay, this is his kit.
Yeah. So
like, or I have a good idea of what I'm dealing with. Because in Battlefield, when I played it, I was like, there's just so many people. You know, is he going to be close range? That guy's sniper? I don't know. So
it's kind of like it's merging both of those systems. So there's still going to be 4 classes. Like I don't know if you've played any other Battlefield game, but you pick the assault,
like a medic,
or you pick a support, and you have the LMGs. So you still have, there's going to be like I think it's assault, recon, support, medic maybe.
Engineer.
Don't quote me on that. Engineer maybe instead of medic. I think assault has become the medic, but it's 4 classes. And then the specialists are one of those classes. So one of the assault specialists that they gave was this like Canadian JTF, like Canadian Special Forces guy, and he has a grappling hook. Like his gadget, just like Rainbow Six Siege, is a grappling hook. So he's still an assault. So I think he gets access to certain gear, but he gets the special ability for being that specialist is the grappling hook, and no one else can get the grappling hook.
Yeah.
And then the Boris guy, he's a support. So he gets access to like being able to potentially give teammates ammo and stuff, which support has in the past. But his special ability is he gets an auto turret that like attack enemies, right?
Oh.
So that's how this is being built. And there's going to be 10 specialists that launch, but that's like the perfect platform to add more. Like it's like that's what
exactly
people
right.
want. Perfect things to add for like season to season. Hey, we're adding some new guns.
Look at
we're adding
Apex
some new
Legends.
specialists. Yup.
They're raking in cash. Anytime they launch a new character, even if they suck, people are like, I'm buying it.
Genshin Impact. Like having these sweet specialists like operators. We're adding the Navy SEAL guy, and he's dope, and he's got the like frogman suit like covering his face and stuff, and everyone's like, oh god, he's got a crazy ability. Dude, Rainbow Six Siege has gone so hard on those, and like their voice acting is superb, and people get attached to the characters. It's such a brilliant idea to bring that into Battlefield.
Yeah. And the other system I wanted to bring up is that they've implemented this new feature called the Plus system is what they called it. And it's basically this holographic interface that even in middle of combat, maybe you like duck into a bunker and you're like, okay, the next part of this fight is going to be a CQC because we're going indoors for the next portion of this. And I got all ranged stuff on. So you can pull up this holographic menu and start swapping out your attachments in the game, mid-combat. So you're like, okay, rip the scope off. We're putting a holo sight on. I'm going to want this suppressor and an under-barrel grenade launcher on. You know what I mean? You can do all that in the heat of combat. So you don't have to have all of your preset loadouts to cycle through. You know what I mean?
Do you guys ever play Crisis? Do you guys ever play Crisis back in the day?
No.
Oh,
I didn't play it, but I know what it is.
That same system. You'd bring up your gun and you would like swap mag, swap barrel. So it's sight, barrel, mag, and like something else. Maybe underbarrel.
Underbarrel stuff. Stocks and...
Yeah, because, especially modern military weapons, just modern guns in general, they're extremely variable. Like
very accessorized. Yeah.
Hey, I'm not trying to be. They're like Swiss Army knives, literally, because you can so you can literally in Battlefield. Hey, like you said, I'm going into a bunker. I'm going into short barrel, right? You can apparently the magazine attachments. You can have different types of ammo, so you could potentially switch to a lighter caliber. I'm going to 9mm. It's gonna influence how fast your gun shoots. So it's like fast rate of fire, short barrel. I'm switching, maybe putting a flashlight on or a laser sight on for better hip fire. I have a scope. I'm changing that to a red dot sight. I'm going into this bunker, close quarters, baby.
Yeah.
And you could do that all in the game. Like you used to have to do that in the menu when you died, for example. But now you can do it right on the fly before you head down into the bunker. That sounds crazy.
Yeah, and I understand people are like, well, I really wish people could you'd have to just play to your role. But, I mean, in most shooters these days, you can do similar things. You can change your loadout without having to die in order to do it. And I don't think you should have to die in order to add some variation to your gameplay. So I think I'm very open to this. I'm pretty excited about this system, seeing how it will integrate.
Another important thing, and Tash, this is interesting for you because you mentioned like I hated vehicles and I would pick a class to deal with infantry, and then a vehicle comes, I'm like, I'm screwed. But apparently there's a lot more melding between the classes. So before, if you wanted a sniper rifle, you had to be the recon class.
Right.
But apparently now any class can pick so you can be a support and use a sniper rifle. So
maybe you can have like anti-vehicle stuff kind of universally as well, maybe?
Well, yeah, like recon, classically, they would have C4 charges. You could go up behind, throw a C4 charge on a tank, blow it up, kill it.
Right.
But, hey, I want a C4 charge, but I don't want to freaking snipe, right? If you wanted the C4 charge, you'd have to pick recon. That meant you had to have a sniper rifle. But now, I can put on my assault rifle, I can put on a light machine gun on my recon class, and I get access to their kit, potentially, and I get access to some of their abilities.
Right.
That is going to let you, and then you're going to have more people potentially able to deal with these vehicles, able to like mix and match where they want.
Which also is like I get like maybe you want to have like that war feel and like you got to be your specialist, but it's like, stop. It's a game. I want to be able to blow stuff up, but then I want to blow everyone up with my AK. Like,
exactly.
And that speaks exactly to what Kackis and I were talking about in the very last episode. We were like, what they have to do is they have to really embrace that, like, the content side of Battlefield, because the Rendazook, we even talked about it. Oh, I remember
the trailer.
He jumped out of his plane and he rockets the other plane, then he climbs back into his cockpit. They showed it off in the trailer, and that's literally exactly what we said last time. Is they got to lean into that, and it looks like they did.
Perfect. Yeah, I mean,
it's not hyper realism.
And that's the thing, is you have to have
playground.
You have to have that bit of goofiness in a game. It doesn't matter if it's fully military, because if it's like, if you want realism, you're gonna have the most boring game ever. You're gonna be hulking around 80 pounds in ammo, and you're gonna turn like this, and like you can't do that. If you don't make games, I think a lot of the time you're just gonna get something that's really boring. And if you don't have customization, I think honestly, I like when, you know, maybe there is some classes to choose from, and it does pigeonhole you a little bit. I'm okay with that. But sometimes I feel like developers go too far with lack of customization, and then it's like, well, I like this, but I hate this part of it, and I like this part of it, and you can never find anything. And actually, when I was playing that Phantasy Star Online, I had a hell of a time, you know, figuring out which class I wanted to play, because I was like, I really like this stuff, but this feels terrible. Like I can't deal with it, and there's some things where if you can't change it, it almost ruins it for me. So I'm honestly more happy, because that is the feeling I had. It was like, well, I like the medic, and the gun is fine, and I like this class because I like this gun, but I never felt like there was one that I loved and I felt really comfortable on.
Like, that was always like a big problem with the game. It's like, if you wanted the guns that were the best for killing other players, you needed to play assault, but that they were useless against vehicles. So definitely a little bit of a dynamic there. Their solution in like Battlefield 4 was carbines, like a little bit worse than assault rifles, but a sniper could use a carbine and it would function, you know, similarly. But again, this is just so much better. And then the customization comes from these specialists, where it's like, hey, you want the grappling hook? You got to be this specialist. And this specialist is an assault. And you can use all the different guns you want, but that you get the kit of... I just think it's a great freaking idea. Yeah. Like, I think it's like, they're kind of picking the best parts from all these different games. Like the customization system of maybe even a Call of Duty, or maybe even more in depth than that. They still have the classic Battlefield squad system, the Rainbow Six Siege operator system. They're all mashing it together into one like crazy game.
The big thing now is just waiting a few more days to see the gameplay in action, see the maps, like show off some of that stuff. I think, you know, we've got like the hype, and then if it pops off, it's gonna go even more, because I think everyone obviously wants to see it in action. They want to see the game play out. Does it look clunky? Does it look good? You know, what are the colors on the maps? You know, we don't really know what it's going to look like yet. Is it going to be all washed out and gray? And you know, that's like what, 4 days away. So exciting.
So that's going to be at E3, which kind of takes us into our next topic. There's a bunch of people going to be at E3. A lot of developers going to be at E3. They're on the schedule. So the question is, what are we expecting to see?
Oh, bro, E3 is going to be wild. Like,
I hope so. I pray. The thing is it does feel like a bit of a drought. Like maybe this E3 brings us back from the brink. It defibrillates us and it's like, look at this game coming out. Look at this game coming out.
Could be.
I'm just scared. Just scared that it's going to be like coming in 2024, 2023, because everything got delayed.
Yeah. You're right. That's the good thing about, dude, Battlefield's coming out strong this year. I think October 22nd. Great time to launch too, because a little bit of space from Call of Duty likes to launch in November, so you got like
and the holiday launch.
So it's gonna be interesting to see where Call of Duty launches. But that's a good point, Tash. It's like we're probably gonna see some Diablo 4, right? We're probably gonna see some Starfield, especially now that Microsoft has a hand in the Bethesda conference.
That's right. And Bethesda has a conference on the docket.
They're combining them. Yeah.
And there's gotta be some tea for the next Elder Scrolls title. No gameplay, no way.
Yeah,
But there's got to be at least a tease because they gave us
yeah.
that one 8-second little tease.
But what if?
Back in the day.
What if it was closer than you think? Like, but what if it was like 2022? Can you imagine?
They break the internet,
There's
dude.
no way.
But
way,
think about when Skyrim came out. I mean, I guess the thing is they did do a lot of like DLC for it, and it depends how many teams are working on that. But
yeah, and they have other content they're developing too. Bethesda's there's a lot of stuff under the Bethesda umbrella too. So.
I just want it now. I want it now.
I know, dude. I want to lose
mention
myself and
Elden Ring. We're probably gonna see something about Elden Ring, which is
what is
super
that?
hype.
That doesn't even exist. That's a Sasquatch in gaming.
True,
But that would be
like,
sick because
that would
everyone's
be sick.
hyping that game as like the next big thing. You know, like Dark Souls fans loving it, like a lot of different fans liking it.
Like you said, what the heck is even gonna launch this year? Like, I seriously doubt Starfield will launch this year. It's probably 2022. Diablo 4, no way in hell it launches this year. Like, no way. And they said like no. So Elden Ring, no shot that game disappears off the face of the earth and then comes back and is releasing this year. No shot. So like you said, it's gonna be a weird E3. They're gonna like kind of just announce all this stuff that's coming in like 2 years.
Yeah.
For 2022 probably. Because what's launching this year? COD and Battlefield. That's all we know for sure.
Question.
Shoot.
What if people have seen the release of games like Apex Legends with no news, no announcement, just says, "But here's our game." Obviously, they paid a bunch of content creators, but what if maybe there is some new meta saying, "Why are we wasting marketing budget? Why are we wasting $40 million advertising on TV, advertising all these things months and months ahead when we could just do a big thing right when it launches?" You know what I mean? Like maybe there are some games that are a lot closer than we think, but they're like, well, it's not here yet. We're gonna wait until we're very close. People are hyped. You know,
So
maybe get a few popping up.
That only works if you're a free-to-play game. That only works if you're a free-to-play game, because otherwise you got to convince your mom to go to EB Games.
Right,
or
and I need you to do it now. EB Games.
Yeah. Or that's a Canadian version of GameStop. So like, you know what I mean? Like that it only worked for Apex Legends because it was like it's playable now, and everyone's like, what? So they could do that, dude. I mean, like you said, we don't know until we know, and I would expect this E3 to potentially announce some new stuff. I mean, we didn't know about Elden Ring until it was announced. So like, could we get something more? I don't know.
Yeah, fair.
I'm just saying like something totally new and no one knows about. Probably.
Yeah, like just like some basement project that they haven't even discussed, and like I don't know, maybe some of these studios have had like apparently there's Bungie is working on a new PvP game. Like
no shot they announced a new IP.
No, but like how do we know that there's not a bunch of these studios that like, oh, by the way, there's been a team of 50 building this new game. And maybe it doesn't have to be a AAA game. Maybe it's, a roguelike or like a roguelite type game or a card game for something. Who knows? I haven't looked. Is Riot Games on the
I didn't see them on the schedule.
I'm not sure.
They might just do their own thing, honestly, but I'm really curious because they're working on like every game you can think of. They're working on a Diablo-esque ARPG. They're working on an MMO right now. They're hiring a bunch of people. They're working on apparently like a turn-based hero, kind of like a Raid Shadow Legends type game with story and like different quests. They've got like all these different games being built, and they're all within the League of Legends world. And so maybe they will just kind of announce on their own and do their, through their own channels. But that's one company where I don't know. I feel like they've got a lot of potential because they've done the Valorant now. They've branched out. Like they're a big studio and they got a ton of money and a ton of employees. And so I'd love to get more news on their information.
Oh, so something else.
Their games.
So I agree. Something else that might be big that might launch in a couple days. Officially, Nintendo Switch Pro. We've been talking about, or like more information, because apparently there's leaks about E3 2021 that are saying that Nintendo Switch Pro is gonna be there.
Yeah.
I mean, that could, dude, anything Nintendo, we've talked about Nintendo doing everything wrong, but anything Nintendo sells like hotcakes, dude. People just
Oh,
love
for
Nintendo.
sure.
They don't care. They could literally come and like punch your mom in the face and like spit on you, and people would still buy Nintendo products.
I
Like,
can't
take
wait
my
for
money.
Splatoon 3.
literally, dude, it's wild out there.
Nintendo needs a new Mario Kart desperately. And by desperately, I mean I need a new Mario Kart.
Yeah,
desperately.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, maybe that could happen, and that could be like big news. And again, especially if we've talked about before, the rumor is that there could be some games that are like only on the Switch Pro because the other one's like a potato, and this one is like
Right.
you
It
know, a
really
potato
is.
with a hamster wheel. So, like, dude, but like, imagine new Nintendo Switch Pro, and there's like a big game, like a new Pokemon, and it only runs maybe not a new Pokemon, yeah, new Pokemon, and it only runs on the Switch Pro. Or imagine like Mario Kart, but it only launches for the Switch Pro. And then you basically have a like that's almost like launching a new console.
Yeah. But like they better bring the heat. But the other thing too
Yeah.
though is like they showed off that new open world Pokemon game and they were having frame drops in the trailer. So it's like
Oh my
like
god.
you can't
yeah,
like
yeah.
even these games you're trying to make, you have some of the most fire IPs in the world and you can't even make games for it properly because your system can't run it. And like it's ambitious and it's amazing and like the Switch really is great for traveling and all that stuff, but like where the games could be compared to where a lot of them are, it's really
Dude.
unfortunate. Like even the Sword and Shield had frame rate issues and like open world issues. Like the graphics were like honestly like looked like the 3DS, and it's like do
wasn't
Pokemon
received
justice. Like
super
do
well,
it
yeah.
justice,
Dude.
man.
Like how fire would a Pokemon, a real
A legit
Pokemon,
open world RPG.
open world, but on a PlayStation 5? Like, do you
That's
know
right.
how absolutely yoked that game would be?
Like Ghost of
they would-
Tsushima
They break
style Pokemon.
Well, yeah, like, and the graphics, the amount of Pokemon, the rendering distance, it would all be unbelievable. But they're stuck on this absolute piece of potato hardware because every Nintendo product, every Nintendo console has to have a gimmick, and this one's gimmick was it's a cool gimmick. It's why it sells. But in terms of quality of games, like especially when you get later into the life cycle, they start to really suffer.
I agree.
So
I know when I let my son play Minecraft on my PC, he's like, "Oh my gosh, this is what it can be like."
Yeah, exactly, right?
yeah.
It's just kind of, it's kind of crazy. Like we talk about at the beginning of this podcast, we talked about Battlefield. It's probably going to look unbelievable when you see the gameplay. 128 players on one map, explosions, helicopters, jets, changing all your attachments mid combat, all the stuff. And then Nintendo, you just like, you know, their newest game, which I freaking bought, was like you're in the stationary little thing and then you look around and take pictures of Pokemon and they just do the same animations like almost every time you go through there, and you're just like, wow, it's like so much less of a game. It's still fun, but it's like the difference is so stark there.
The graphics for Battlefield, Nintendo graphics. It's Animal Crossing.
Yeah, exactly.
This is as high fidelity as we can get right now.
Look at the render distance.
This is the pinnacle of content.
Oh.
I mean, no, hey, the Animal Crossing is incredible, but it's interesting. And I mean, art style is art style. Like you're gonna have different art style, but you know, if Pokemon can't run like 60 FPS at this point, that just is shocking to me.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But anyways, let's move on from that. However, I'm feeling a little tired. I wish there was something I could take to really give me some energy.
I'm yawning myself. Oh!
Advanced GG. Our podcast is sponsored by advanced.gg. And if you go to advanced.gg and you use code RGH, that's the name of the podcast, RGH, you can get 10% off any of the amazing flavors. There's a bunch of new flavors of Focus, which is a clinically proven boost to your focus while you're gaming or studying or doing some homework or whatever it is. Advanced.gg, check it out. Use code RGH. It's that's all there is to it. Moving on.
Yeah,
Stasis.
great stuff. They
Stasis nerf.
got some new flavors too.
Yeah,
well,
strawberry,
yeah.
strawberry banana
Well, one
is.
of them for sure. Hold on, don't say too much. But the one that has been announced is the strawberry banana. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yes.
They have so many different
insanity.
flavors. Definitely worth getting.
Okay, so Stasis nerfs. It has been a week and a half. No, it's not even a full week, is it?
Last Thursday,
Yeah, so just under a week.
just under a
okay.
week.
Yeah, so just under a week. People played some trials on the weekend. I dabbled. I didn't stream it. I just logged in for a tiny little touch. I was pretty impressed with a lot of it. The Hunter Melee nerf, incredible. Holy cow.
Yeah.
I used to just get pegged by that thing constantly.
Around corners, tracking you.
It was so frustrating because as long as they threw it near you, you're getting tagged. So that got nerfed. That was amazing. The Behemoth nerf. Brother, that thing would fly towards me 24/7 and I just rage because it's like, all right, I'm just dead.
You can't shoot it. Yeah.
You can sprint
I
away
guess I'll die.
like as like a dawn blade, top tree, and it'll still catch you. And you can lay into them. But they reduced the damage reduction, so that you actually, if you're doing decent, you can actually kill them before they kill you.
You can now, like, it's much more common that you can one-shot headshot them with an adaptive sniper. So like with
Right.
the beloved archetype or the adored archetype. So
Mhm.
that's great. Whereas before, if they had high resilience, they're tanking that shot.
Yeah.
And if they tank that shot,
Then you're
you're
dead.
dead.
Freeze durations, overall, like it did feel quite a bit better. It is still frustrating, like if you get tagged with it, but I just also noticed more people on light subclasses when I played, like a lot more. It used to be like
Absolutely.
one to two people in a 12-man lobby, and now some of my games it was the majority, which I have not
Yeah.
seen. I've
In
never seen
most
that.
of my games, it's
Yeah.
mostly light subclasses now. Dawn Blade and Spectral Blades, I mean, these things are they're back on top. And I've seen a lot of people say like Stasis nerfs were dumb. Now we're just back to Dawn Blade and Spectral. It's like, bro, but you're not being objective here. Yes, there is always going to be something on top, but is it as bad as Stasis was?
Yeah.
Heck
exactly.
no. You don't go into a lobby and see 9 Dawn Blades. You don't. It just doesn't happen. You know what I'm saying? It's not as oppressive as Stasis, and it wasn't as free. I mean, Top Tree Dawn Blade, I mean, they've already said it's probably going to have to be brought down a little bit. I mean, they already said that. But it has a high skill ceiling. Stasis was different. Stasis was, I have 0 talent, I have 0 skill, and I can kill you.
Yeah.
And I don't say that to diminish people or to be insulting.
No.
It's just
I
a
do.
fact. I mean, and it's just a fact. These abilities they track for you.
You miss your cold snap, it's still gonna yeet over to the nearest guy and freeze him.
Because when you hit someone with a cold snap, they can't defend themselves. There's no skill there, there's no talent there, there's no effort there. You pushed a button, you want to fight. And I don't say that to be diminishing, but they took that away. Praise God, all freaking mighty. And it's so much better. Now, Destiny still has issues. It still has a lot of stuff that needs to be fixed. But this was a big ticket item to check off the list. I'm so glad we did it. What's up?
Just to play on that, that's actually one of the things I forgot about is the ability to use movement abilities when slowed.
Uh-huh. Hunters can dodge roll.
Incredible. That changes everything.
Not
As
just
Mtashed
like
would say.
not just movement abilities, but you can activate your class abilities. So even if you don't have a movement ability, even if you're a Titan, before when you got slowed, you're dead.
Yeah,
You're just
exactly.
dead. Now you can put up your barricade. It's like, okay, I might be slowed, but you can't kill me now. Or you can maybe back away from that. You can have some counterplay.
I've got Saitan's Rampart, and so you like slow him and almost bait him in. Like, there's different things you can do. The accuracy changes. Before you got slowed, and it's like trying to like, you can't even aim your gun. But I guess my only gripe is like, awesome. There was a massive problem, and you made the problem less. You didn't. You didn't make the game better. You just made it less bad.
Well, can I say I played a lot of Iron Banner last night too, and yeah, it's so noticeable. A lot less stasis, and a lot more light. Stasis is still hot and heavy. Like especially Revenant Hunters, they've just migrated to Shatter Dive, which is very good still. right? You put on, especially like the Frosties with that grenade, you're getting that back so fast, and the aspect of winter still makes that grenade better. You shatter dive, it's still great. But it's not like if one or two things are great, that's fine. The problem was that everything was great.
That's right.
Every single ability, the nades were S plus tier, the melees were S plus tier, the super was S plus tier, the movement was S plus tier. It's like, brother,
And no
at
downsides.
some point, we gotta calm it down. The one now, I'm gonna ask you. I think that this nerf was a great idea, and I think that an emergency button had to be pressed. But I am kind of annoyed, and I made a video on this saying like, dude, these changes hurt the PvE stasis quite a bit. Like, especially the Behemoth Titan, because they changed how the slide works, right? You have to run and then slide.
Yeah.
So one of the best parts about using it in PvE, one of the only reasons to legitimately use it was because it had great anti-ad capabilities. You'd throw a glacier grenade and slide right into it and shatter it. And then if you had some like shattering ice synergies, you could get your melee back right away. Like, actually a very powerful build. But now you can't. You have to like throw the grenade and like run around and like set it up. So it just feels worse to play. And like, I understand they had to do this to save the freaking game, but it is kind of annoying. It's like, man, like it was not overpowered in the slightest for PvE, and yet it still took a hit. And it just like brings up that age-old argument of like, are they gonna have to separate these sandboxes? It just keeps causing problems.
They'll never fix it. They'll never get it right, because I mean, the thing is like, they probably have to have a lot of these balance changes tied directly. I mean, there's so many trivial things in this game where it's like, if you change one thing, it'll break something else. I don't even know how they would do it where it's like, this activity, the slide is instant. This activity, it isn't in it. Like, I don't even know how they would code it differently. Like,
I can tell you right now, I don't think you will ever see them do different sandbox tunings on that level between PvE and PvP. I don't think it will ever happen. They've stated before in open forums, hey, we are very committed to the idea that your guardian is your guardian is your guardian, and the way you play here is the same way you play there and the same way you play over here. Gambit, PvP, PvE. It's all the same. And I don't think they're gonna change that.
I agree, but like, do you guys see where I'm coming from? And some people in the chat are like, well, why would you even play Behemoth Titan? Like, you're gonna play Bebel anyways. Like, yeah, that's my point. Like, the small amount of people who just played it because they enjoyed it, they liked shattering in PvE. It was not even close to overpowered. They logged on one day and their favorite build is worse because a bunch of PvP players couldn't calm the hell down. Like, it's just kind of But actually, it's like you guys had to spaz out for a top of the leaderboards where winning doesn't matter in most game modes. Like, do we really have? No, I'm obviously.
Oh no, I thought you meant the other way. Like, we were all complaining about Stasis.
No, I'm obviously memeing on you guys, but it is kind of a sad thing. It's like, you log on. There's so many people that don't play PvP at all, and it's like, you log on and your stuff is worse, and all of them are worse. Like, the tracking for Shadebinder, right? Like, that matters quite a bit, because if you're playing like a higher level content and you're like far away, and the shade, I've seen people use Shadebinder in Grandmasters because of the Bleak Watcher turret that can like spawn trap and freeze champions.
Yeah, it's actually pretty solid.
Actually really good. But like, now if obviously you're staying further away, if you try to hit someone, if you try to lock on, there's no tracking anymore. The tracking breaks after a certain amount of time. So like, that's super. It got way worse. So like, dude, it's just like a whole. I want to make it clear that I'm not saying that they like did something wrong by doing this nerf. I think this nerf was needed, but it just like, it opens this can of worms again, where it's like, I feel like every big nerf like this should have some offsets for the part of the game that wasn't involved. They've done it before in Stasis, but it seems like this was like an emergency thing, and I hope they go back to doing like offsets. If they nerf something for one part of the game, it shouldn't suffer in the other part as well.
I wonder.
I'm not overly concerned. I think that you'll see some work to bring Stasis back up, at least on the PvE side of things. But I don't mean to cut you off, Mike.
Oh, it's okay. I've seen a lot of like overall positivity, like even like ZK and Frostbolt, like we've been talking and they've been really frustrated because they still do a lot of like trials on the weekend and stuff, and like for the first time I saw some positivity out of them, and
Yeah.
they're like damn, like I can actually kind of deal with PvP, but you know it's a tough thing. I feel like there's a lot of people in Destiny right now where it's like I can deal with this game. They're not
Yeah.
like overly hyped about anything really, and like maybe they are
Yeah.
for a bit, but it isn't. It feels like it's in a bit of a lull. It needs a big kick to get everyone really invested again.
Yeah, it's I don't know, and then you have I see some people in the chat like, no, Shadebinder didn't change. I had people say that on Twitter. It's like it didn't even change. Someone actually swear to God said it like this. He's like, Shadebinder is basically the same. I mean, yeah, you lost the Whisper of Hedrons, which was the best fragment, and then you also like lost a couple. Other than that, it's fine. So it's like, so they took away the best. What you're saying is the best PvE like aspect or fragment. And your class is undoubtedly and undeniably worse than it was, even though it was not overpowered. And you're like, it's fine though. It's like, dude, you understand there's a problem. And again, for you, if you're, a hardcore player, you can understand. Oh, okay, they made this for. But if you're like a more casual player, you're not even necessarily going to read these patch notes. Like, you got to understand, the people watching this are the minority. People who watch YouTube videos are the minority. The people who read patch notes are a minority of that minority. Most people just log on and play and have no clue about these changes. They literally logged on, they went into a strike with the behemoth, they tried to slide, and they probably thought they probably thought their controller was broken. Like, it is like an issue that Bungie, and I feel like they should have in-game patch notes. Some games do this. Bungie needs to start doing it and saying like, hey, like, warning, the behemoths, this is the changes, right? If you log on to Titan, it comes up and says, here are the changes we made, right? So people can understand that.
All right, let's move on to Twitch being Twitch. So one cool thing, we're going to give them one prop. They have finally caught up a bit to better Twitch TV emotes, and you can make your emotes shake a little bit and dance a little bit and change color, and they're going to be implementing animated emotes, which is interesting because, like, honestly, I feel like 90% of people in Twitch chats are spamming like the frog, like Papega frog. Like, honestly, like it's like if you don't have those emotes, you're honestly hurting your channel, which is crazy because I don't have a membership. But I'm considering it because I look at some of these other chats and the whole thing is like people sad, people sad. Yeah. Like, it's like constant Keck W, and it's like, gee, I don't even see the emotes myself, but people absolutely love them. And Twitch said, well, we want to try that too. And they're implementing those animated emotes, and that's their one good thing. The other thing is they threatened to delete someone's account because he tried to use copyright free music that they have specifically said is copyright free, and he got flagged anyways. So the story is there is the Twitch music. They have like some music that you can use that is paid for, I suppose, and like copyright free, as long as you're using their platform to do it. Now, what ended up happening, I'm kind of summarizing, is he saw the songs on there and he had used one of the songs because it's like, oh, it's on the list. But because he wasn't doing it through their system officially, it flagged it anyways as copyright. And he's like, the song is right there. Like, the song is on the list of copyright free songs that you can use on Twitch. And I used the song on Twitch. And they're like, but not through our system. So he got, I think it was two copyright strikes. And the next one, channel deleted.
Channel's deleted.
Delete your channel.
They always do that. YouTube does it too. If you get 3 copyright strikes, your channel's freaking deleted. It's like, why? It's like, at least have some pending review process. It's just, why does it have to be like so extreme? Like, calm down.
Yeah. Especially for something like that. And it's like, again, like, there's no communication. They're not like, hey, we flagged you once. It's like, bam, bam, 2 of them back to back. There's no course correction. Yeah. And it was like the case for me on my YouTube channel. I got a ban for soliciting an illegal
selling drugs, baby.
Yeah, exactly. A drug. But then I got another one right the same day, back to back, and so I got the warning, and then I got a 7-day ban. And it's like I couldn't even appeal. I couldn't even change it. And so the thing is
so stupid.
I still did the whole ban, and I think on the last day they're like, "Oh yeah, we were wrong. It wasn't." But the one, it's been on my account for a year and a half. I don't know if you saw my tweet. They finally removed it after a year and a half. I got the ability to appeal again. Because I see it every day. Community strike. The next one, you're gonna get banned. And it's like this thing is hanging on my head,
hanging over you, sure.
And honestly, my stress levels when I saw that go away, it just completely dropped. Because instead of getting an instant 7-day ban if I ever break the rule again, now I get a warning and then potentially another one.
Well, an instant 7-day ban if they think you broke the rule.
Yeah, exactly.
Again.
If they think I broke the rule, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Whether you didn't, it doesn't matter.
But like the thing is, it's like community strike, which I had, and then 7-day ban, 30-day ban, delete your account. It's like so if I already have that
intense.
Right, if I already have that strike and the same thing happened, I'd instantly get 7-day ban, 30-day ban, a month ban. Are you kidding me? So, again, these platforms, they are messing with people's careers, and it's like, yes, our career exists because of your platform. But like your platform exists because of us too. Like
no one,
it's a partnership.
No one's
here.
gonna I hate when people. I really getting annoyed by the whole it's a private company. You should get a real job, right? It's like, brother, there would be no YouTube without creators like us, because no one would be putting forth high level content. Especially you have people out there who really do these insane, you see really well edited travel videos and stuff. They would not be able to do that unless they were getting paid for doing that by YouTube, and you had the subscriptions whole thing set up so people could come back and watch more of their content and all that stuff. So YouTube wouldn't be successful without its creators. It's a codependence. YouTube relies on its creators to make actual good content, so people want to come to their platform, and the creators rely on YouTube to pay them, obviously. But it just seems like it's such a crappy power. There's no, union. There's no union for creators or anything like that. We're all just random people, and so YouTube just has this massive power to just screw you over. Or Twitch. The original topic is Twitch. Twitch is the same thing. If you're a small streamer, even if you're earning enough to make a living off of streaming, Twitch could just come in and yeet your channel if you misuse their system to playing songs. It's so ridiculous.
And it's like they make money off of us. They make a bunch of money off of us. You would think that it would be in their best interest to try to work with us and be like, okay. And I understand if it's some person with 200 subscribers post a video every second month, sometimes they might need to just ban some people. But there has to be a threshold where they need to look into it and contact people. Because there's been months with Genshin, I made 6 figures on YouTube. So they're getting, and I would get I think the partner program is you 55%. So it's Twitch, you made that.
Right.
And you're just gonna ban me for a month if I mess up again instead of try to talk it out. And I am tiny compared to some of the people that are out there. And it's are you just gonna ban Dr. Disrespect, who's pulling in millions and millions and millions
They did!
of views?
Apparently.
They did.
Yeah. Oh, apparently they do. So it's just such a interesting thing that maybe it doesn't matter what your size is, but a lot of the systems that they have to not normalize, I don't know what to call it.
To automate
to speed it up, can really shoot people in the foot, and themselves.
It's how do these companies not have the resources to have a real human being look at your account? Especially it's if you're over a threshold. Hey, if you have over 100,000 subscribers, we value you. We're gonna get a real person in on this. They could absolutely do that, but they won't. Yeah, but they won't. And Twitch is the same. People get banned. You can't even reach out. You try to reach out, and your partner manager, maybe a lot of people don't even have a partner manager, and it's impossible to get a hold of. If you do get a hold of them, they can't even reach the people who did the ban.
Yes,
Like,
exactly.
it's like a different department. They're like, I can't even email these people. You're like, how does this business work? Like,
it's the same
this is
company. You
absurd.
can't talk to them.
You're my
It's
contact.
absurd.
If I can't use you, why do
Yeah.
you exist?
So they ban you, and then they don't even tell you why, and then they go on Twitter and talk about how like Twitch is just fighting for a better world. It's like you're not clearly, because you treat your creators like shit. Like, what are you doing out there? And this example was the latest example of that. It's like the dude used the system wrong. Apparently, he had like the wrong setting, but it was like, why is it built like that? Why isn't it really obvious? Like, before you even get to use it, there's three things. Are you gaming? Are you doing a live venue? Like, what kind of thing are you doing? You pick it, and then the songs come up. Don't make a system where if you screw up, your entire channel's deleted. It's like, because if this dude messed it up, I guarantee a ton of other people are using it wrong too.
Right. Yep, exactly. But anyways, Twitch sucks. Always sucks. But what doesn't suck is we have a very special RGH announcement. Ryan, what are we doing, baby?
So, next weekend is GCX, the Gaming Community Expo, hosted online. That's pretty cool. But you know what is exceptionally cool is the fact that they have invited us to come center stage during their event and take the stage as RGH and host a live episode live from GCX in outer space. So that'll be pretty cool. So next Saturday, RGH will have a special episode live from GCX Saturday afternoon.
Yep, it
And that's
shouldn't.
us.
It should just be an additional episode. It's not like we're still gonna have an episode Wednesday, and then we're just gonna have like a special fun episode that Saturday. It's only 45 minutes, I believe, the slot. So it
Real gamer almost hour, baby.
Real gamer almost an hour, and we're just gonna pound through, and it's gonna be fun. And yeah,
We'll just talk about probably like E3 stuff, I'm guessing, because that'll be like the hot new stuff. And I guess any news that happens between Wednesday and then, we might have to hammer down kind of some of the same topics, depending how big they are and depending.
Topic number 1, E3. Topic number 2, which one of us has the tightest booty? Topic number 3,
You've seen the picture on Twitter.
Yeah.
You know the answer now.
Topic number
Brother.
3 is big booby vampire mommy. After we get some more,
some
more village news, at E3.
Yeah, it'd be fun as heck. And I think now we're gonna transition to RGH After Dark. This is where we basically
Wait,
My eyes are up here, chat.
no,
My eyes are up here.
Wait,
chat.
what?
Whoa,
hold on a
whoa.
second.
Yo! This is basically where the topics are whatever you guys want. Ask us whatever questions in the chat, and then we'll just get right to it. So go ahead, ask away. By the way, if you want to support RGH, support us in what we do, best way is to become a member, and you can do that. Tash should be posting a link in the description at some point, and just click on that, become a member. You get to, again, support the channel. You get access to all of our sick new emotes, and we definitely prioritize members in the After Dark part as well.
All right, I posted the link 15 times on accident.
I was like,
I mean, there
all
you go.
right.
Can I get a decently priced standing desk? IKEA. I got my standing desk. It is beautiful. It is like an inch thick wood top. You got to put it together, but it was like $600, $650 Canadian. So like $20 American. Actually, no, the dollar is coming down. It's not as bad now, but it used to be like 30 to 35%. Now it's only like 20% more. So we're catching up.
I gotta recommend Uplift. Uplift desks came highly recommended to me. T-Rex has one, and that's how it got on my radar. Is I remember when he moved, he was like showing pictures of his setup as he was getting everything all set up in his new place. I was like, dang, that desk looks nice. It's a convertible sit to stand. That looks really nice. So I got some more details on it, and read some reviews, watched some videos. I picked one up myself, and this is one of the best purchases I have ever made. Is an Uplift desk, and actually, they're like, I don't know, customer support. I don't know. They're their social media guy, the guy that handles their socials, used to be a Destiny streamer back in D1. Real nice dude.
Oh.
But anyways, one of the best purchases I've ever made. It's such a great desk. Very sturdy, very stable. And it's got all of the, like one of the issues with sit-to-stand desks is the wiring is a nightmare. But the uplift, they have everything is mounted underneath, like power strips and everything. So no matter what, I've even got my PC it's just sitting on top of the desk, and everything goes up and down with it together. Oh, it's fantastic.
Nice.
Okay.
Someone, I just want to say something funny. Someone said, Kackis, your build with the Path of the Burning Steps is insane. I don't even have Teraba yet. I'm glad you like it. It's literally the worst performing. You know when you go on your YouTube page and it goes 10 out of 10. This is of your last 10 videos. This is the worst performing one. So that's what that video is. So I've seen multiple people be like, "Oh, it's a super fun build. I like it." I am never gonna make another build video again because of how it's performed like crap. So please, you know, if you enjoy a certain content, you gotta promote it because you gotta like, hey, post it on your Twitter, post it on your Facebook, send it to a friend and be like, "Go try this out." Because I'm telling you, like, we just see the raw numbers, and if you guys really enjoy a piece of content, but we don't see that the metrics don't support that, we're not gonna make. That's what happened to everyone. Keeps I remember so many people said like, "Oh, do the fan-made exotics again. I love that series. I love that series." No one was watching it near the end. Like, the views are trash. Like, I'm not going to make another... Those were a lot of work. I'm not going to make another one, make more episodes if people aren't watching it. Like, you got to support, you know, the channel. Support us. Like, those people out there support Dream. Every video he makes pops off like I wouldn't believe, you know?
2 dislikes. Well, one of them's Squid because y'all bullied him in chat. I tried to make y'all stop. Well, Kackis started it.
Who?
Kackis mocked him.
The guy
Kackis
who's
was like, "Oh, Shadebinder, you're seeing her."
Oh,
you had to go treating him. You had to go treating him like crap. You couldn't just say. You couldn't just say, "Hey, Squid, I see your opinion. I disagree." You had to go and mock the guy. Now we got dislikes on the.
Dude, we can't even talk for
video.
5 seconds without him cutting us off. So imagine being someone just in Twitch chat, like. He'll say whatever he wants. He's off the handle.
the real reason Kackis doesn't streak is anytime someone types in chat, he's like, "Oh, then we got Boomslayer 47 over here saying."
Listen, I got a couple people said I have a trash take and you have a trash take because my take's correct. Look, my point is just this: if Stasis is not overpowered at all in PvE, which it isn't, that's not to say it's not good, but it's clearly not like top of the meta. It shouldn't be touched. It should never be touched. And the fact that it is, it's just, it's not a good feeling. And it's more kind of a discussion about like Bungie needs to come at this from the future in a better way. Because if we here's the real issue here, right? And here's why you guys being like, "Oh, it's fine," is terrible and bad for the game. Bungie is going to come out with a new subclass eventually. Maybe it's poison, like the thorn and the necrotic grips. Maybe it's something else. We cannot have a repeat of Stasis, right? Like, the game cannot take another Stasis. So we need to be very sensitive to how this stuff is introduced in the future. Because, like, it can't be completely OP in PvP and trash in PvE, and then any change, like, impacts the other, like... We just can't have that again, right? So that's why having the attitude of like, it's fine, bro, please. That attitude nearly killed the game like 3 times in the past. Can we just actually tell Bungie to get it together in terms of balancing this time?
We had a super chat turned off again because of that mess up with the AdSense.
Sorry about that, chat.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It is what it is, but we got a new member. Thank you to the Big Lemon. Thank you so much for becoming a new member. Love you.
Oh, TV, what are you drinking this show?
Tonight, we're sipping on Whistle Pig 12 year. Although, can I share? This week I tried a new. I made my own new recipe for a blackberry mojito. I like mojitos.
Make me
so
one.
Here's what I did. Get this. I went all out. Okay. I went and I got some fresh blackberries, locally grown. I brought them home. I put them in a pot with some sugar and some water, and I boiled it for like half an hour. And rendered it all down, strained it out. So it was this almost like a blackberry sauce, but it's not
a jam.
fake. It's legit. It's real. It's like a puree almost.
Uh-huh.
And,
Keep going.
I let that chill for a few hours, so it's in the fridge, thickening. And then I made mojitos with my own homemade sugar syrup, that blackberry puree, some fresh squeezed lime, locally grown mint leaves, and just a little bit of that club soda. It was so freaking good, dude. It was the best mojito I've ever had in my life.
You realize, like,
jealous.
now when we go to our RGH all-inclusive trip, you're gonna have to make us drinks now if you keep talking.
I would be happy to.
You know
I
what's funny?
absolutely love
Do you want to
doing
hear the most recent drink I made? And I'm not even memeing it, 100%. You know
Go
those?
for it.
You know those tempos? Tash, maybe you've seen them, like
Yeah.
tempo. They're like a gin drink. So I took a tempo and a glass, and I put a little bit of peach schnapps in, and then I poured my tempo in.
Incredible.
that was the pinnacle of my bartending skills. And I was like, damn, this is actually pretty fire right now, dude.
Okay, I'll one up you.
I actually added a tiny bit of Aperol after for a little bit of bitterness. TV, maybe you know what I'm talking about. A little Aperol, you know what I'm saying?
I thought you said Adderall at
No,
first.
a little bit of, that came
Yeah,
later. That
a
was
little
a
bit of
different
Adderall
thing.
in
That
there,
was
you
a
know what I'm
whole different thing.
We went to McDonald's and we got the coconut pineapple smoothie, and we put some
They have a
coconut.
coconut.
And then
Really?
we put some coconut rum in it and made pina colada. It was incredible. It was so good. It was so good. It was so easy.
They have a coconut pineapple smoothie?
Yeah, they got like a new coconut smoothie and it was so good. It's good.
Hey, Cheyenne, come here.
What are you doing tonight?
Put your clothes on first.
Yeah.
Knowing her. Woo!
Oh my gosh. Yeah, probably. Yeah, come here and make sure you're clothed for once. Gosh.
Joffrey Castro with a new RGH membership, and Squid comes back even after getting verbally harassed by our boy Kackis, and he becomes a member.
I love it. Man.
I know. I feel what Squid's saying. I know it isn't like completely destroyed. I know you can still use it, but my point is just like it shouldn't be touched. It shouldn't be touched if it's not overpowered.
Just leave him
right?
alone. Just leave him alone. He's a member now. Leave him alone.
For a sec. So Tash just said McDonald's has coconut pineapple milkshakes,
No, not milkshake, smoothie.
smoothies.
And then you add a little
And
Malibu
you
in or
put a
something.
little bit of Malibu in it, and then it's pina coladas.
Tash, that sounds awesome.
I know.
Yeah, see? I know where we're going after the show. Ooh.
We're gonna make those when we go to Banff.
Yeah. Hey, McDonald's, sponsor the podcast.
Yeah, honestly, at this point, come on.
Yeah.
And same with Whistle Pig.
Oh yeah, dude, Whistle
I
Pig.
need to reach out to them.
Dude, you're like, I don't think you understand. Like, we show your products like probably one every 2 episodes. We basically do a free Whistle Pig ad.
That's right.
I think.
Any other questions?
I think the chat's been a little quiet with questions. I haven't heard anything.
No, I'm hearing some. I can't believe you compared Battlefield to Rainbow Six. If it's anything like Rainbow Six, I'll never play it. No, it's not gonna play like Rainbow Six at all. It just has like that like operator system. So you have like a specialist with a certain ability.
Yeah.
Yeah,
a
that's
little
it.
gadget. And that is similar to Rainbow Six. And that is like, again, it's nothing to do with gameplay. It's just like because you introduce these interesting new characters as operators, you have like, you know, the like trailers where they're revealed for the first time. You get to see their gadget in action. Everyone's freaking out, talking about all these different possibilities. It was that is a huge reason as to why Rainbow Six has succeeded for so many years.
Masanity with an Elite Gamer membership. Thank you so much for becoming an Elite Gamer. Absolutely incredible.
And he asked the
Appreciate it.
question. He says, "Where's the merch at, fellas?" Yeah, we gotta have some.
Oh shit! Sorry.
Yeah, we're working on RGH jock straps pretty soon.
Hell
RGH
yeah!
jock straps.
Headbands.
We just gotta find
sweatbands?
ones big enough to, you know.
Sweatbands for gaming.
I mean,
boys.
so down. Yeah, exactly.
That'd be nice. That'd be very nice.
Do you
Did you
think there'll
see-
be a Witch Queen trailer at E3? I doubt it, because I don't even think Bungie.
Nah.
No, probably not.
You live right next to New Riff. Oh, that's cool. I love their single barrel rye. Is one of my favorites. That's good stuff. Actually, I've got some New Riff right here. It's funny you should admit I got New Riff right here.
Oh, of course you do.
Oh, from
of course you
from
do.
his.
You guys got to come over and see my collection, man.
Oh,
Bro.
I'll come over.
My,
all right.
Yeah, you gotta come and see my collection. I'm like, I have some Captain Morgan spiced rum, and then I have some Kraken.
I've got a barefoot Pinot Grigio and Riesling.
I've got some Malibu. That's an exotic rum I sometimes like to have.
That one has coconut flavor.
Yeah. I have a Di Serono. I like to sip on the Di Serono. It's very nice.
And this one is called Fireball when I'm feeling spicy.
Yeah. This is
wait, hold on.
It's an exotic taste.
Have you had the Bud Light seltzers?
No.
They're sweeter than like a White Claw and not too fizzy. Pretty good. Like
my mother-in-law likes those. Yeah.
oh, shut up! Don't be a man. Stop being.
Are they still 0 sugar though?
They're 1 gram of sugar or something.
Oh.
Which
I like I like the tempos, honestly. I think the tempos taste a lot better than White Claw is hit or miss.
White Claw
Like some White
is
Claws are good.
not good. Like they're light and they're easy, but I feel like I need to add like a lemon squeeze to it or something. Like just like a little bit more flavor.
Hey, add some peach schnapps.
Yeah.
White Claw, little Aperol.
It just tastes like dirty water to me, like dishwater or something. I don't know. It's just got like a little to it. But all right, boys. I'm gonna go get some food. This was an incredible RGH episode. Make sure.
Where are you going? Wait. Where are you going? Were you going to Boston Pizza?
No, I'm gonna go to McDonald's now that I talked about it.
Oh my! You're wearing a Taco Bell shirt.
Hey, I'm sponsored by Taco Bell. RGH isn't, so I'm allowed to talk about this when I'm doing RGH. But if I was to say that on my stream, banned.
That's right.
Contract ended.
Oh my god.
But yeah, I'm gonna go. They also have a little raspberry slush. Pretty good. Pretty fire.
Brother, what the
They
heck?
got all these summer drinks, and that's why I'm getting fat. Pog champ, we got an answer. We got an answer to the fat comments. Incredible. But make sure to check out the episode next Wednesday. We do this every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. This is the RGH podcast with Mtashed, KackisHD, and Vanguard. But we also have a special episode on June 19th. June 19th. So that's going to be next week on Saturday, which is going to be really cool. We're going to do that at GCX. It's going to be this special weekend event. We've got a 45-minute time slot at GCX, and that's going to be fantastic. Thank you guys so much for watching.
We should organize. We should all ball out for that. We should all wear like I'll wear the Versace robe, obviously. Tash, you gotta wear one thing from all your different sponsorships. So you gotta wear your Taco Bell shirt. You gotta have like a hat from like Pringles. You gotta have like an armband from something else.
Yeah, I have View Sonic Elite tattoo.
View Sonic Elite armband. And you come, you say, "Hey, this real estate, we sold out, baby. We sell." And then True Vanguard, I don't know, just try to be sober for once, and we'll be good to go.
Yeah, did we talk to them? Are we allowed to drink on stream? Because maybe we just pump a claw right at the beginning for fun.
I probably won't, just because they do the St. Jude stuff. So I'll probably try and keep it,
But if we are, I'm pounding 2 claws right as we start, baby.
Oh, actually, we'll probably have to plan a little something for that. But we'll talk about that.
We'll figure it out.
But yeah.
We should probably plan it off there.
Yo, Frosty Dog Gaming with a $5 donation. If DICE decided to add classic Battlefield maps into the new Battlefield, would you be cool with that?
I don't know, just because of the increased player count. Like, once you literally double the player count, the classic maps, they were great, but, like, would they work? I feel like, you know how there's certain maps, like, in Warzone, like, they expanded it? I feel like they'd have to do that. They could take a classic map and then expand it so it's bigger, and so there's new areas and the classic map, so it can accommodate all the players.
Like it would be like a point of interest kind of thing, and then it would have surrounding.
Yeah, exactly. Like you'd have the map itself, but then it would, potentially take away some walls, break it out, have a whole new area, so you could like go back and there'd be certain capture points on that map. It'd be like playing the classic map, but then there'd be other areas too.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Mtashed.
I'm KackisHD.
I'm sure Vanguard.
And we will see you next Wednesday, gamers.
Bye.
Bye.